Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So this is our third video and we will be discussing today Umrah. We will not be discussing all the Umrah because Umrah has so many options. We're going to break that into two videos. So this is Umrah part 1. That's where we will discuss how to open a new season. We will discuss how to add hotel prices, services, and most important, how to make a quotation for individual Umrah and confirm this quotation. In Umrah part 2, we will be talking about how to add a Umrah package for groups basically, and how to sell these Umrah. So both parts are very important. Both parts are very important given the fact that you watch the installation video and the setting video. I would like to remind you, without watching the setting video, none of what we will be discussing right now will make sense to you. Because, for example, in the settings video, we have identified our hotels. In the setting, we have identified our room categories, also known as room views. We have identified our suites and so many things like vendors, sub-agents. We talked about all of this in our previous video, which is called settings. So if you didn't watch the settings, pause this video right now, go back, watch the settings. You don't need to, the settings as we talked about is only, can only take an hour from any company, and it's once in a lifetime. You don't have to do it again. So it's worth it to watch. Alright, Bismillah, let's talk about Umrah now. So when you sign in your Hajj, when you sign in into Sur Hajj, we click on Umrah back office. We have so many options here. We will not be going into details about what these options are. There are so many videos in the help file already discussing this, but we will explain exactly what you need to do to start your season. The first thing we need to look at is the season. Okay, this is a very nice screen. If you click on it, press season, you get this screen. By default, when you purchase your license for Sur Hajj, it comes with an open season, an open brand new season. Here we can just adjust some things, which we'll talk about in a second, and then save and actually start working. If you want to open your, if you want to open a new season or name, maybe you don't like the name Umrah 2020, you want to name it something else, no problem. You press new, and then you can put the name that you want, and you can start. But that's the screen. That's the screen where we come to open a new season or close the current season. So if I am done right now with Umrah 2020, I can come here and I can say close season and open a new one. If I open a new one, I'm gonna do that quickly. I can call it Umrah 2021, and here I can leave the start date from today's date, for example, and I can choose maybe 2021 December 31st. Okay, now I come here. Here is your overhead per person and your profit. So the overhead per person, basically how much you want Sur Hajj to add on each person when you're making the quotation. Okay, you have to understand that these settings will apply only for individual Umrah. For groups, when you're making a Umrah package, you usually put your own profit on it, and we'll show you that when we come to talk about, we will show you that in Umrah part 2. Here I am going to put, for example, 100, and in the profit you have two options. You can get the system to calculate a percentage per person as well, or you can charge a set amount per person. I like to charge a set amount, so I will put another 100, and here you can identify the exchange rate as per today. You can always come back to this screen and change the exchange rate. So I'm gonna put 2.5 for example as an exchange rate. I press save, I get the successful message, and I'm done. All I have to do now is exit Umrah, exit the whole program. And you have to restart the application because we opened a new season. So as we learned, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put my password and enter Umrah again. As you can see, now the season says Umrah 2021, which is the new season we opened. This screen, you will come here every time you want to change the exchange rate. Just be sure you select the season you are in right now and then change whatever you want and then press save. That's all. So that's with respect to the season screen. Very easy. Now, other place to check what exchange rate you are using right now is right here. If you see right here, it says Umrah main menu and it says exchange rate 2.5, which is what we chose for this new season. Every time you change it, just you can always be sure it's the right exchange rate. The second thing we will do right now is to start entering hotel prices. So since we are doing customized Umrah, under customized packages, we click on the arrow pointing down and we go to hotel prices entry. I press this right now. Here we go. We have a list of our hotels on the left side, and on the right side, that's where we put the prices. Now, if you need to add a new hotel, you can do it from this screen. Let's say that you don't have a certain hotel here. You can do it from this screen. You can do it from this screen right here under accommodation. You press hotel. You will have this same screen we talked about in our last video, or you can go to the setting and add a new hotel. So it's very flexible. You can access it from anywhere. Now, for the sake of this video, we will be entering some rates for Movenpick Anwar Medina in Medina and Movenpick Hajar Tower in Mecca. Okay. All I have to do is select my hotel, Movenpick Anwar in Medina. Here we go. Here I have some basic information about phone, contact, email, stars, Saudi Riyal, and no partial weekend. If you are putting the prices in Saudi Riyal, always leave Saudi Riyal checked. If you are putting the prices in your own currency, then you need to uncheck Saudi Riyal. If this hotel has a weekend policy, then you need to check no partial weekend. If it doesn't have a weekend policy, then leave this empty. No partial weekend means that the hotel doesn't have a weekend policy. And actually, before I go any further, I want to discuss something, and that has nothing to do with Shur Hajj, but it's actually to do with your windows. So we are here in North America, we use the dollar sign. If you want to see the prices in your own currency, then you need to adjust that in your windows. The easiest way to do this is go here in the search and write region, then click on region settings. Then on the right side you will get additional date, time, and regional settings. Click on that. This will open. Again, click on change date, time, and number format. Choose additional settings. Then go to currency. And here write the currency symbol that you would like to use. So I'm gonna write now R and press apply. Look, it changed from the dollar sign to R. And R is the symbol they use in South Africa, for example. So now anytime we have a quotation or something, it will show R instead of the dollar sign. If you want it to show on the dollar sign, just leave it dollar sign. You can always change it back and forth. Back to this screen. Now, here is the room categories. We got classic city view, we got classic haram view, we got deluxe city view, deluxe haram view. Wait. Where did this come from? We discussed that already in the first video of the setting. So please be sure to watch the setting again to be able to identify room categories, also known as room views. Now, this usually comes to you in a pricing sheet from your vendor. So, for example, here's my private, here is my vendor. They send Fast Aviation, for example. They send all these hotels. If I go to Al Medina and Anwar Al Medina Movenpick, they send you Medina Tower Classic double triple quad or Haram Tower Superior double triple quad, and you may have a little bit of different, but that's how I identify my categories. So if I want, as you can see here, this is a Medina Tower, this is classic, so I write classic Medina and then double triple quad. So that's how we identify our category. We put Medina Tower classic, and then we can put the room prices, identify the room prices right here. So here, yes, I think I like all of this. I don't want to take any of this off. If I want to take anything off, if I'm not going to use a category, I can select it and just remove from view. So here, for example, superior partial Haram view, we don't need that. So I'm going to remove it. See, it's done. Classic partial view, I'm going to remove that. I don't want to use it. Deluxe partial view, I'm going to remove that as well. So now I have classic C view and classic Haram view, deluxe C view, deluxe Haram view, superior C view, superior Haram view, and I'm fine with that. Here in the room categories, I have Medina standard, so basically Medina Tower standard. I try to make the names as shorter as possible. It makes it easy for us with all these categories, also known as views, in the setting video, and we can choose for each hotel which view or category to use. Now, if you are missing something here, you can always come here. This is where all the category that you have, let's say Kaaba view, for example, and you can press add, it will be added, no problem. If you're not using something, just remove it and keep it clean. Okay, so under this category, room categories, we got meals. So here you can put a price for all the meals. If you would include all the meals, I don't want to put any prices for it. This is the weekday price and this is the weekend price if there's any difference. Here breakfast, I'm gonna put 60, and in the weekend I'll put also 60, and then the rest is correct. Got lunch 150, dinner 180, iftar, that's in Ramadan, suhoor in Ramadan as well. Now under here it says additional bid, allow or not, and how much it is. And it says here no bid, allow or not, and how much it is. So here you can allow, if you allow children or infants with additional bid or no bid, you can identify that here, and you can choose how much you want to charge this person per night. So for example, additional bid, I will say yes. If I have to add a bed, usually it might be free from the hotel, it might not be free. I'm gonna check here if my vendor told me anything about an extra bed. Doesn't look like it here. Breakfast 60, 150, 180, and it doesn't say anything about extra bed, so it looks like it's free. So I can leave that cost, or I can make an extra profit if I want to. I'll say charge 50 reals. In no bid, I still want to be able to put some cost on infants, on babies for example. You can leave it empty if you want to. I'll leave it empty right now. Okay, but if I want to, I can just put 50 here, and that will be enter. It's time to enter some prices. I'm gonna come to my pricing sheet, which you all receive. Of course, this is an old pricing sheet, but we're just using it as an example. So we have here some periods from 14 September 2019 till 18 December 2019. So from 14 September 2019 till 18 September 2019, I'm gonna go ahead and actually just put from from November, let's say 3rd 2020, from the beginning of the season, the new season, until December, here, what did it say, December 18. So here from until December 18, so I want 20 December 18, and then I have to select the vendor. So if you don't select the vendor, the system will automatically assign the hotel as a vendor. So the system will understand that you took the prices directly from the hotel. In our example here, I am going to actually choose just the generic vendors for testing that I added called hotel vendor. Then I choose that, and I want the prices to be per night, not per package. Per package is usually used for Ramadan, and we will have an example right now. But for now, for this period, I will put by night, and I am going to click on add period. Now look at what happened right here. The system right away installed, the system right away added a new period from November 3rd to December 18, and here the system added the room categories that we selected here. So we got here Medina Standard, that's the regular weekday, and then Medina Standard weekend, Haram Superior weekday, Haram Superior weekend, Haram Deluxe weekend. Okay, and right here we got the different type of rooms. If we have suites, of course it's gonna show here, but we did not assign any suites for this hotel. Right here it shows all the room categories that we have, single, double, triple, quad, penta, and then it shows the vendor. So the vendor of this particular period is called hotel vendor. Okay, and right here it's showing you that there are some taxes, and we'll show you that in a second, how to ensure that you are calculating the taxes properly. Okay, for now I want to start putting some prices, so I will come back to my sheet and say, okay, for the Medina it's 400, 450, 500. So I'm gonna do that. 400 single, single, double, no, single. So I'm gonna come here, say 400, 400, 450, 500, and I don't have any penta, so I'm not gonna put this. I will skip the weekend. Okay, I will, because I want to show you a very beautiful feature on how to duplicate the weekday rates to the weekend if you don't have any differences in the price. So right here with Movenpick Anwar and Medina, we don't have a weekend policy, so, and we don't have a different rate for weekends, so I'm gonna skip that. Now for the Haram Tower Superior, I have 600, 710, 820. So I'm gonna write here 600, 710, 820. And then for the deluxe, I got 800, 910, 1020. 800, 910, 1020. Okay, that's very good. So I added the weekdays for all the room categories that I have. You're more than welcome to add more room categories, of course, and you can add new rates for them. So now we want to duplicate this. Before we save, we want to duplicate the rates. That's very easy. We come here, we click utilities. Here we go. And you see you got two options. We're gonna go for the first option. It says duplicate weekday prices to weekend. I'm gonna select that. Here there's a comment. It says select the weekend day to be populated and click go. So I want to populate this one first. I'll click go. Look at this. It took exactly copy of the weekday and put it in the weekend. I'll come here again. Yes, now I'm going to do the second one right here. I'm going to say go. Here we go, see? And then I'm going to do the last one. Select the weekend and press go right here. So now I duplicated the weekday and the weekend. I finished this period. Now now that we duplicated all the prices and everything is good, we are able to actually, if you see here, it says taxes. We are able to click on tax and say that for this period, for this particular view or category, we want the system to apply the VAT and the municipal tax. Of course, these taxes, we identified them under settings, and we already put the order there. And we already put the order in which the system applies, for example, VAT first, and then applies the municipal on the original amount and VAT. Finally, we want to tell the system if we want to apply any taxes or no. As you can see here, the red icon that says taxes, if you click on it, these are the two taxes that we identified already under settings. We already identified the order as well, so which tax to go first and then which tax to go on top of the original amount and the first tax. Here, for this example, I would like to add both taxes. I'm going to say OK, and here it's already applied. As you can see, it applies for, as you can see here, once I add in the weekday, once I add the taxes in the weekday, it automatically adds it in the weekend. See? So you don't have to do it again. Here we go, weekday. I'm going to say OK. If you check the weekend, it's already added by itself. Once you finish, you press save and you're done. Okay. Now that we finished the taxes and we finished this period, say you deal with more than one vendor, and the second vendor, they have the same period. No problem, you already have your dates properly correct. Just select a different vendor. I'm going to select a general vendor, and I'm going to say add period. As you can see, it added under the same period, it added new lines, new views or categories, and the vendor here is changed. Okay, general vendor, here is hotel vendor. Okay, so I can add here maybe a cheaper price. So I'll add 300, 350, 400. Then I'm gonna add 350, 350, 400, 450, and here 400, 400, 450, 500. And again, I'll do the duplicate. All I have to do is select the weekend, say go, and then here again select the weekend and go, and here select the weekend and go. See, I got all my prices here. Again, I have to identify the tax. I'm gonna say here okay. I'm not gonna go to the weekend because it's already done for me automatically, and then okay, and then here just be sure when you select the last record, so here municipal, you always go out of it like that, and then you press OK, and everything is saved properly. Finally, I put save. Now if I go to a different hotel, doesn't have anything, I go back to Anwar and Medina Movenpick, I can always review my prices. Say if you have all the periods, you got one period, you got two periods, three periods. I'm gonna add another period right now. I got here all my prices. I can review them any time I want. Now I want to add a newer period that takes. Now I want to add a new period. I'm gonna go. So the last one I did December 18. So now I will say December 18, and here I will say something like April 30th, 2021, and I will choose the hotel vendor. I'm gonna say add period. So the system here is alerting you that in case you're adding an intersecting period, which means a date that is available in a different period for the exact same vendor, it's telling you what would you like to do. Would you like the system to erase the older one and take the new prices, or would you like to say no and change the date? Okay, so that's a good warning. If you're making any mistakes, the system will alert you. You're allowed to add the same period, no problem, but just for different vendors, because you can't have two prices for a double room from the exact same vendor. Say Movenbeek, you can't have that. It's impossible. Same period, same room, two different prices. It's just not possible. Same period, same vendor, same room, two different prices, it's not possible, of course. So I'm gonna say no here, and I'm gonna change. I'm gonna say December 19. So because my end here is December 18. Now if I add the period, it should add it perfectly fine right here. So I can start entering my data. I'm gonna put here, for example, I'm gonna put more expensive price. So I'm gonna say 500, 500, 550, and then 600. And then here I'm gonna start at 700, 700, 750, 800, and then 900, 900, 950, 1,200 reals. I want to replicate my weekend, so I'm gonna say I'll select the weekend, utilities, duplicate, go. Select the weekend, utilities, duplicate, go. Select the weekend, utilities, duplicate, go. I finished this already. Okay, I'm gonna say save. Now that I added this, I want to add the same tax, the VAT and the municipal. All I have to do is select one of the periods that already have the tax and municipal. I click utilities, I choose the second one and press VAT, municipal, I say go. Okay, perfect. If I click on any of these categories or views now to check if applied the tax or municipal or not, I will see it is working good. Once I finish, I press OK or save. Once I finish this hotel, I need, for the sake of testing, to enter. Now for the sake of testing, let's put some prices in Mecca as well. So I'm gonna scroll down. You see Mecca right here. These are the Mecca hotels. I'm gonna choose Movenbeek Hajar Tower. These are the information for the hotel. Actually here I want to draw your attention to something. If you take the prices directly from the hotel, be sure in this screen to have a proper email address. This will be used in quotation when we finalize a quotation and send a request email to the vendor for this particular quotation. We will need an email address for the vendor. I am using external vendors and I already identified the emails there, so no problem. But if you're gonna use the hotel, be sure you have a hotel email. Okay, now let's use that. You already know everything about here, so I don't need to worry. The only thing I'm gonna change here is add a cost for the additional bed. I'll add another 100, and then for the no bed I would like to charge maybe 50 this time. I'm gonna save that. Great. And here I'm gonna now add a period. I am going to choose from today basically until I'll say April 30th 2021, and my vendor will be the same hotel vendor. Add period. Notice something here. This is exactly the same screen as before, but notice that we have two extra columns. We got single, we got double, triple, quad, penta, and here we got the room view or category. But also we have here exec double and junior double. So executive double and junior double. What these are? These are suites that we identified under the hotel. Remember in the setting video, I'm sure you watched it by now, we identified our suites and then we assigned these suites to a hotel. You can also find it under accommodation. If you want to see it, you can press the arrow, click on hotel, select Movenbeek Hajar Tower. You see we got the suite type here, executive double, and I said name it exec double, which is exactly right here. And we got also the junior double, and here is June double. That's exactly what I chose here. If I choose a different name here, I can type the name that I want here. It will appear here, no problem. Okay, so now let's just put some prices here as well. I'm gonna start with 900, 900, 950, 1050, and then for executive double I'm going to put 1500 Saudi riyals. For the junior I'm gonna put 1300. Now for the haram view I am going to start with 950, 950, 1000, and here 1100. And for the haram view I don't have the executive double and junior double. They're only available for the city view. Okay, I will show you that example when we're making the quotation. What I'm trying to say here is basically you don't have to have the suites in every view. You can have them in only the view or the category that comes from the hotel. And if you don't have them in a different category, you don't have to put them. Just put 0. The system is not going to show them to you. We'll show you that when we talk about the quotation. Now I'm going to repeat my weekend. So I'm going to choose the weekend, utilities, and duplicate it. Done. Weekend, utilities, duplicate, done. I will identify my taxes. I want both VAT and municipal. Okay. And on both VAT and municipal. Okay. Here we go. I will save. Done. So I now identified all my prices for the hotels. Of course, you're gonna have a beautiful homework. You have to put all of these hotels prices. But the good news is you only put them once and that's it. When you have an updated sheet, you come back to this screen and do it. Remember, you access this screen from customized packages. You press the arrow showing down, you press the arrow pointing down, then you go to hotel prices entry. On the left side, you got your hotel. Select any of the hotels you want to use and start adding prices. It's very easy. It may look like it's full of options because it is actually full of options, but it's actually very easy. As you can see here, Del Latiba doesn't have an email. So if I were you and I'm gonna use Del Latiba as my vendor, which means I'm gonna book with them directly with no external vendor, I will put an email here and then press save. Okay, a good feature. Lastly, before we exit this screen, another good recommendation, you don't have to do this, it's just recommended, that if you are entering prices for a hotel, I would say create a document and save the price sheet that you got from your vendor, just in case you, by end of the season, if you have any accounting differences between you and your vendor, you can always come and refer to these prices. So for example, we already entered Movenpick. I would come here, say create a document, and I can say just prices, I can call it hotel prices November 2020, and then here hotel prices received from whatever vendor, maybe general vendor on November 2020. And here I can say the source file. I can choose, I'm just for the sake of testing, I'll choose any file. I'll go to downloads and I'll choose, for example, here this file right here, and I say okay. The system already saved it. If I just go to any different hotel and I come back to Movenpick, I can review the documents. Here we go, it's already saved. I can click on it, and then here I can either view the file, print the file, delete the file like we showed you before. You can do view file, print file, delete file. These are great options that you could always use just to come back to the same price. If I now click on view file, it will open. Here we go. Even if it has different hotels, it doesn't really matter. As long as you save it, you can actually come back to it if you ever needed to. And that's it with respect to hotel. Very easy. It just takes a little bit of time to get familiar with it, but once you do, it's very simple. It's very simple screen. I'm gonna exit that. Now, the second option Now, one may ask, what about Rajab, Sha'ban, Ramadan? Sometimes the hotel, they create packages and they send us prices in a form of 4-night package or 10-night package. In Medina is different than Mecca. How do we identify this? Let's say that you got a price sheet from your vendor, say giving you this option, Ramadan prices. How do we put the prices in the hotel? Very easy. We go to the same hotel price entry screen. We select the hotel we want. Let's say Movenpick Anwar Medina in Medina. Let's look at the price sheet. What did our vendor give us? So I'm gonna come here and says Ramadan rates right here. I will scroll down until I found Movenpick Anwar Medina right here, and it's telling me here 1442. Okay. So here I'm gonna choose 16, and then Ramadan will be the 9th month, and the year will be 42. Convert. Should equal to 28th of April. Alright, so back to our packages here. I'm gonna say April 28, 2021, and then we have a package of 4, right? April 30 يوم لا؟ فيبقى عندنا احنا 28 ليلة 29 30 1 ماي 4 ليالي يخرج 2 ماي يبقى 1 ماي. So we got 4, so we have 4-night package. So we choose May, that will be May 1st, 2021. So the system, if we are making a quotation and these dates come, the system will take these 4 nights and will apply it as one package. If there is any nights before or after, the system will account for them individually, but these 4 nights will be one package like the rules of this hotel. So we got April 28, we got April 29, we got April 30th, and we have May 1st. Okay, 4 nights. And I'm gonna choose my vendor, hotel vendor, and I'm gonna choose by package. Cannot be by night. I have to choose by package so so the system understands that this is a package, not a regular night prices. I say add period. Look what happened here. So the above grid is for the regular periods, not by package. The below one is for packages. It showed you again all the room views or room categories, and you can enter the prices for double, triple, quad, and if you have suites, you'll enter the suites as well, and it's showing you the vendor. All the pricing, all the font is in blue, so you can differentiate between groups and actual per night. And as you can see, there is a line right here between both, and the row headers and the row headers right here in different colors, just to help you differentiate between both prices. Now I'm gonna enter my group pricing. So right here I have, since this vendor that didn't give me the actual prices, I am going to go ahead and calculate it myself. So this period of Ramadan will fall in the first period. So I'll come here, take 500 riyals multiplied by 4. That's basically it. So here it's gonna be 2,000. Sorry, it's gonna be 2,000, 2,000, and it will be 2,200, and then 3,000, 600, 600, 1,200, and the quad will be 2,400. Again, I'm gonna skip the weekend. and then the haram will be maybe 2,200, 2,200, 2,400, 2,600, and haram deluxe will be 2,600, 2,600, 2,700, 2,800. So basically I took the rate of one night and I multiplied by 4. Yeah. Of course, if your vendor sends you the package price, you just put the price. You don't have to multiply it by number of nights. But in my case, the vendor didn't give me the price, so I took the price of the night and multiplied it by the package they asked. So they asked for a 4-night package, I multiply it by 4. If they ask for 10-night package, I'll multiply it by 10. If I want to make a 9-night package, no problem. If I want to make a 7-night package, no problem. This is basically between you and your vendor. The system here is very flexible and allows you to put any combination. Even if you want to make 2-night package, no problem. You can make 2-night packages. Now I'm going to repeat the weekend prices. So utilities, duplicate, done. Utilities, duplicate, done. Select the weekend, utilities, duplicate, done. And then click save. The number is saved. Now the prices are saved. If I go to any other hotel and come back, as you can see, the prices are saved. That concludes the hotel screen. Very beautiful screen. Very beneficial screen. Yes, it may be full of options because it is full of options. It's very flexible. You only do it in the beginning of the season, and then whenever you receive an update on the prices, you come back and you can always add these prices. Just be careful that some of the vendors, they send you prices with tax included already in the price. Some vendors don't send you the tax. They just say that VAT or municipal is not included. That's when you include it in the price. If it's already included, you don't have to assign anything for the tax. That's why we have the taxes here per period, per view. So you can actually, that's why we have the taxes here per vendor, per period, per view. So it's very flexible. It is up to you. You can assign taxes or you can leave the taxes. It depends on your vendor. For example, if I look at my sheet here, it says here that the above rates are including both taxes. So in matter of fact, I don't need to add taxes here. If I click here, see, I didn't add anything because my rates already has the taxes. That's it with respect to hotels. Now, the second step is to add our services. Services here could be transportation, could be couriers, could be Zamzam water, could be anything that you will be using when creating a quotation or when creating a package, a Umrah package. So we are going to check that. Very, very beautiful screen. Right here in the menu, it says services, click on it. And here where you identify, you add your services. Alright, so looking at this screen, basically we have our basic menu. We got new, if you want to add a new service. Save when you finish adding your service or you're updating your service. Delete if you want to delete a service. You cannot delete any service that is already being used in this season. So if you add, for example, a transportation from Jeddah to Mecca in a limo, and you use that in making quotations and applications, you will not be able to delete it here. You have to delete the clients first and then you can delete it from here. So you can only basically delete things that you never used, and that's actually for your security. Here you can duplicate services for Ramadan, and we'll see that option right now. Here you can actually duplicate the services from last year. Why is this a good option? Is sometimes the services are the same. So if you put the transportation prices, the transportation routes are actually the same. They don't really change. You have Jeddah to Mecca, Mecca to Medina, Medina to Jeddah, Medina to Mecca, and so on. that doesn't change from one to another, only the prices change. So what's the point of writing, rewriting everything from scratch every time you close a season and you open a new season? The easiest part is to say duplicate. It will bring all the list. This is a new database, of course, so we don't have anything. This is our first season. We don't have any previous season to bring the prices from. For now, let's add our new service. So my first service will be Umrah visa. I can write a quick description. Umrah visa issued by the Saudi Wakil. And here it's asking you for the categories. It is not airline, it's not Mazarat, it is others. So I'm going to choose others. And here it's asking you, do you want to put the price in your local currency or in Saudi Riyal? Okay, so it's up to you. I'm going to put the price in my local currency. And I'm going to say I want to charge 300. So here the currency is for the cost and for the selling. So basically for the visa, let's say you want to charge 300, specifically 300. You don't want it to be the actual price according to the exchange rate. Then you come here, you leave the local currency and you put the cost, maybe 100, and you're selling it for 300. In my example here, I would like the system to do the exchange rate on its own. So I'm going to say the cost is 100, but I want to sell it for 300 Saudi Riyal. Actually, the Umrah visa is very expensive this year, so I'm going to change it. In my case here, I want the system to, in my example here, I want the system to charge in Saudi Riyal and do the exchange on its own. So I will say the cost is 900. And I would like to sell it for 1200 Saudi Riyal. Now you have an option here is saying, is this service mandatory? What that means is, do you want the system to apply this service the minute you create an application, per person of course, or do you want it to be optional? If you want it optional, which means you have to choose it yourself, yes, you can leave it empty. If you want the system to apply it on its own, then you can do mandatory. I will leave it empty so we can choose it ourselves. The option here says place. Do you offer this service in Medina or in Mecca or Jeddah or general? Of course, it's Umrah visa, so it's general. It's not according to a city. Here, it's asking you, is this service per adult or per child or per infant? In this case, it will be for all three of them. Now, is this service per night? No, so I'm going to leave that. If it's per night, then I'll choose it. Here it's saying, is this Ramadan service? No, it's not. If it is Ramadan service, then yes, you can check this as Ramadan. But if it's not Ramadan service and you want to include it in Ramadan, that's not the one. You leave it empty as well and you duplicate the service from Ramadan. We'll show you this right now. Right here, it's asking you for the applicable taxes. So do you want to charge taxes on top of this, or is this price including taxes? In my example, I'll leave it empty because this price includes taxes. Just to mention here quickly, the order that these taxes are mentioned here is not necessarily the same order you choose. Okay, you don't have to worry about the order. The order is defined in the settings, as we talked about in our setting session. Just to quickly look at it, if I go to main menu, which is open right here, and I go settings, and then under master data, if I click on Saudi taxes, I will find out that the VAT will be applied first to the original amount of the quotation or of that price, and then the municipal will be applied on top of the original price and VAT. And you can refer to our last video to understand that more and how to add more taxes. Finally, here we got cost item and vendor. We talked about that quickly in the last. We talked about that quickly in our setting video. So we ask you to kindly, if you don't understand what these are, we ask you kindly to review our setting video. In a nutshell, you are basically linking that service to a vendor and to a cost item. So basically you're linking this service to a vendor and the cost item, so the system at the end of the season can make the comparison for you and tell you if you made a profit or loss. You can find more about these two items in the setting video. Now, for the sake of testing, I'm gonna come here and guess what? I don't have any cost items in the services in my Saudi Riyal because I chose the currency and this is a service. How to add it? We go to main menu, so I'm gonna click on that. I go to settings and under master data, I choose cost items. I select service in Saudi Riyal. If it was in local currency, I would find this. But in Saudi Riyal it's empty, as you can see. And here I'm gonna select Umrah visa and press save. I'm gonna also add tourist visa. I'm gonna press save and I'm gonna select transportation. I'm gonna add transportation, press save. So now I have 3 cost items I can use if I want to. You can add as once I'm done, I can press exit and then exit admin, and then if I come here, now once I come back here, I cannot save, of course, because the change didn't take effect right away. I have to exit the screen and then re-enter again and add the service once more. That's why we said please watch the videos in order. You have to watch the settings video first and then the Umrah video after, so you identify all your cost items in the settings, and then when you start your Umrah season you have your cost items ready. So I entered the service again. Let's add this quickly. So I'm gonna add it quickly. Umrah visa, description, Umrah visa issued by the Wakil, and then this is others. I choose others, then Saudi Riyal. I want the cost to be 900 and I'm gonna sell it for 1200. It's not mandatory and it's a general place, and then per adult, per child, per infant, and the tax is already included and it's not Ramadan service. Now if I press the cost items, look, the cost items, the 3 cost items that I chose are here. If I choose a different categories, like for example transportation, the cost item, now as you can see here, if I select cost items, I'm gonna find my cost items. So this screen, you can add all your cost items of this screen under cost items, services in Saudi Riyals, as we talked about in settings, master data, cost items, services in Saudi Riyal. You can add all what you are going to be using in the services here. So if you want to add Zamzam water, you can add here Zamzam water. I'm going to go ahead and add that. Zamzam water. It is a service that we charge in Saudi Riyal. If you're charging babysitting, you're charging anything you're charging in Saudi Riyal, you put it here. Anything you're charging in your local currency, you put it here. Okay? So back to our screen. I'm going to select Umrah visa, and I'm going, just for the sake of testing, I'm gonna choose general vendor, and I'm gonna save. It's gonna give me successful, and as you can see, it's now in this list. I can always come back to it and edit it if I need it. Now let's say that this Umrah visa is also going to be used for Ramadan with a little bit of a change. All I have to do is select it and say duplicate for Ramadan. The system is gonna give me a warning saying that a new service will be created for Ramadan. I'm gonna say yes. As you can see here, a new service automatically is created for me. It's saying Umrah visa Ramadan, and it's showing exactly everything except that it has the selection of Ramadan service. Now I can come here and change the price. So I'm gonna say the cost here is 1200, but the selling price I wanna sell it for 15. And then I can say save, no problem. Now the first Umrah visa is 900, 1200. If I select the Ramadan one, is 1200, 1500. Which means I can quote people right now for Ramadan. If I have the prices, of course, I can enter it here and quote people right now, although Ramadan is still coming basically in. I'm going to add a new service here. So I'm going to press new and say tourist visa. And I'm going to say here tourist visa using the online system. Again, category will be others, and here actually I'm going to charge using the local currency. I'm going to say the cost is 100 and I want to sell it for 300, and it is a general per adult, child, infant. Now I'm going to choose the cost item. So as you can see, the cost item is a little bit different because in this case I said local currency. I chose the currency to be local, not Saudi Riyal. So I'm going to choose tourist visa, and I'm going to say I am taking it from the general vendor as well, and I'm going to save. Of course, that general service could be the Ministry of Hajj. It could be any vendors that you identified under settings. As you can see here, when I clicked save, it already saved it right here. Okay, and you go ahead. I'll add another one just for your own, just for our own example. So I'm going to say Jeddah, Mecca, limo, 4 bags. So I'm adding now transportation. I'm going to say here 4 bags in a limo from Jeddah airport to Mecca hotel. Category will be transportation, and I want to charge it in the Saudi Riyal. I'm going to say the cost here is let's say 200. I want to charge 250, and this is actually offered in Jeddah or in Mecca, so I'm gonna put it in Mecca. If you want to put it in general, you can do that as well. It's up to you. Here, is it per adult or per child or per infant? It's not. It's actually per transportation, so I'm not gonna select any of that. And is it per night or Ramadan service? They are not. So here I'm going to choose transportation as my cost item, and the vendor is, I'm gonna choose transportation vendor, and I'm gonna say save. Again, the name of the vendors are just for testing. You can write any names you want. Now let's say I want to do Mecca Jeddah. I can do the same thing by duplicating. This is just a trick. You can duplicate it for Ramadan, but then you have to select it, remove Ramadan from here, and remove Ramadan from here, and here I have to say Mecca Jeddah. It's just a small trick to save you from entering the same, especially they have the same price in this case. So now I have Jeddah Mecca limo and I have Mecca Jeddah limo. Let's add some stuff in Medina. So let's say Medina Mecca limo, 4 bags, 4 bags in a limo from Medina hotel to Mecca hotel. And then here will be transportation, Saudi Riyal, 300. I'm gonna charge 500, and then this will be in Medina, offered in Medina. Again, here will be transportation, and then transportation vendor, and then let's add sightseeing. Now let's add sightseeing. So I'm gonna say sightseeing in Mecca, and here I'll say sightseeing in Mecca. Let's say limo, 4 bags. Here we'll write sightseeing in Mecca for 4 people, and then the category will be Mazarat, Saudi Riyal. I'm gonna charge 200, and I want to sell it for 300, and it will be under Mecca. And then here in the cost item, it's still under transportation and under transportation vendor. I'm gonna say save. You guys see how easy it is to add all of these services. You just sit one time. It's not gonna take even 20 minutes. You can add 100 service by duplicating them. You can add 100 service. You can also note how easy it is You can also note how important it is to identify your cost items and your vendors before you start working. If you jump into this system right away, if you jump into Umrah right away, and you try to add the service without having a cost item or vendor, each time you're adding one service, you're gonna have to access the settings, identify your cost item and vendor. And if you don't enable the full accounting, you will not be able to use the system to calculate your profit and loss at the end of the season. This is enough for now. I'm not going to add anything else. We don't need to add anything else for now. But I also have to warn you about the taxes. If my prices are including taxes, that's why I didn't check any of them. But if your prices doesn't include tax, please go ahead and include the tax here. Just for the sake of testing, let's actually include the tax here for this Jeddah Mecca limousine, and I'm gonna save that. So now if I come back to it, it has both taxes, the VAT and the municipal, and we'll show you how this is gonna affect your quotation to make it more accurate. Now if you need more help, as always, you always have the help option. If you click on it, it will give you a video with full details of this screen. You can watch it for more details on each of these fields. And that's it with respect to services. So now that we added our hotel prices and our services, it is time to create quotations. In order to create quotation, we go under customize packages, and the first choice is quotations. This is where you will be helping your clients when they call, or when you have a lot of quotations that you have to generate to send it to the clients. This is the screen you will be using a lot. As you can see here, it's a very simple screen. On the left side, you will have a list of created quotations, and on the right side, that's where you build your quotations. We're gonna do this together now so we can learn exactly what to do. So if I want to create a new quotation, I'm gonna go ahead and click new. As you can see here, the quotation will be validated for 1 day from today, and that's what we set up under the settings. If you want to change that, you can visit the settings and change it. You can also note right here that the exchange rate is 2.6, which is the last exchange rate we changed under season. Now, under quotation name, we have to put a name for the quotation, so I'm going to call it Ahmed Test. And I'm going to choose the passenger count. I'll choose 2 adults and 2 children. Now the contact information, if you have the contact information, it's always preferable to add it. It's really good, and you add it once. If this client ever comes to you for Umrah or for Hajj, the system will have all the information. So the more you complete your quotation, the more you have it forever in your database. So I'm going to add any address for now, just for testing. Cape Town. As you can see, the city is populated with all the cities in the country of the user. So here we are in South Africa, so these are the cities in South Africa. You can add more under settings as we talked about. I don't know much in South Africa. I'm just adding any address just to show you how we fill a quotation quickly. The 2 mandatory fields in this contact information is the phone number, one phone number, and the email address. The phone number, you obviously need it so you can get back to your client, and the email address, and the email address you need it so you can send the information to your client. You can send a written confirmation, and the email address you need it so you can send the quotation details to your client after you finalize it with them. The emergency contact, you can fill this later or you can get the client to fill it later. For now, I'm gonna choose same address. It just copies the information from here to there. Now the application notes. I think the application notes are very important. Sometimes the clients, they have a special sometimes you want to pass certain information to your colleagues, such as the client is old and prefers phone number than emails, or clients like phone calls to be after 3 p.m. So some information that you don't want the clients to see, but you want your colleagues to see, that's where you put in internal. So I'm gonna say clients call after 3 p.m. Flight information. So let's say the client is interested in a flight. You can write the details here and pass this quotation to your flight ticketing agent so they can work on the flight. I'm going to see client would like to go to Cairo for 1 week after. Okay. For the accommodation, now let's say the clients have a specific request. They want to stay in the first 10 floors. You can put that there. And this way you know when you make the request with the hotel that this is what the client wants. So these are the main information that you want to fill before you save it. Here we go, the quotation is saved. As you notice here, the quotation took a number 104. This number is very unique and it will never be repeated again. So this is, even if you delete this quotation and you create a new quotation, it will have a completely different number. This 104 will not be created again or assigned again to another quotation or another client. Now let's do the general services. So as we already put the services, and as you can see here, the red services are for Ramadan. Right here, Ramadan services are in red. I'm not interested in Ramadan. I'm interested in the Umrah visa. I'm gonna say I need 4 Umrah visa. I can put the quantity that I need here. And this field right here, other services, let's say that you want to add something that is not here. Maybe a little bit of, let's say that you want to add an extra service that is not among your services. You can add it here, but we do not recommend you do this, because if you want to do proper accounting, every service has to have a vendor and it has to be assigned to a cost item, so that this way the system automatically calculates how much is your dues, how much profit and loss you have. Without doing this, I can write all the services that I want here under other services, and it will not be accounted for. So we really recommend that you do add services properly, like we showed you under services. Now it's time to add our stays. So I'm gonna start with Medina first. I'm gonna choose Medina. The hotels right away is populated with only, although I have over 60 hotels, but it's only showing me the hotels that actually have prices. So I'm going to choose Movenpick Anwar in Medina. And now I have a room categories. What do I have here? I got Medina Standard, I got Haram Superior, I got Haram Deluxe. I can choose whatever I want. I'm gonna keep it simple and go for Medina Standard. And now my vendors here, I have 3 vendors. Which one do I choose? Maybe I don't know. So for those who enter the prices, they know which vendor is cheaper. You can share that with your staff, or simply just press on that eye icon right here. It will open all the periods and it's showing you all the vendors here, so you can know exactly for the period you want which one is cheaper. The period we want is from November 3rd to December 18th. Okay, so I have here we go. So, look, I have here same period, 2 different vendors. One is selling the Medina Standard for 400 riyals under a double room. The other one is selling it for 300 riyals. I'm gonna go ahead and choose the general vendor because I want the cheaper price. So general vendor, and I'm gonna keep it November 3rd to November 5th, 2020. Okay. Now, in order to do the to choose the date, it's very easy. You can click on the calendar and change the month by clicking on the month. Here we go, for example, or change the year by clicking the year. Here we go. Or you can actually type it. So instead, so if I wanna put April, I just put 4. Here we go, showing April. If I want to put November again, I'll put 11. Here we go. And here I can put just 05, and here I can type 2020. Okay. Now, if I want the system to check in this period if I have prices or not before I carry on, I can click this check availability. The system will check. If you know you have prices, you don't have to do that. It's really up to you. For this, I want to give them 4 breakfast. The meals here, you only count the meal per night. The system will do the rest for you. So what do I want to give them? I want to give them 4 breakfasts per day. Okay. The number of days, it will be calculated automatically. You don't have to worry about that. Now comes the rooming. In the rooming, I want to give them 1 double room. All right. And I want to give an additional bed. And I want to give 1 with no bed. So remember, I got 4, 2 adults, 2 children. I'm gonna have one double room and 1 additional and 1 no bed. You can do 1 double room alone, or you can do a quad room. It's really up to you. I want to do it this way to show you that when we did the pricing, we already assigned prices for additional bed and no bed, and I want to show you that this is gonna work. If you click on the icon here, you can see that the additional bed right here, we identified to be 50 riyals. And the no bid, we also identified to be 50 riyals, and we choose to allow. If you don't want to show this under the hotel, just take this out, click on this one, it will not show under the hotel. For now, we'll keep it as is. Now, these are the services available under Medina, which we identified together. Medina to Mecca limousine, I want only 1. 1 is enough here. Okay. Now, I can save that stay. Look at this. If I go here and click up, I can see all the information I want, and I can see even how much it shows me how much this whole stay with the service costs. And as you can notice, it is showing in my local currency. It's not showing in any other currency. And down here, it's explaining to you, giving you a quick explanation of what the accommodation is. So it shows here that you have 2 weekdays, 0 weekend, 1 double room. It's that much money, including the taxes. And the food, you got 4 breakfast, and each breakfast is 60 riyals. As you can see here in accommodation, it's showing you that you got 2 weekdays and 0 weekend in a double room, and that's the price including VAT. VAT is the taxes that we assigned under this period, under the hotel prices. And then it's showing you the food. You got 4 breakfast, and it's showing you that it is 60 riyal per person in the weekday and in the weekend, also including the VAT. Okay, so it's giving you a glimpse. I'm explaining this, so that's why it's taking time. But if I am adding a regular stay, I'm gonna show you now how quick I can add stay. I'm gonna go ahead, new stay. I'm gonna new stay. I'm gonna choose Mecca. In Mecca, I got only 1 hotel with prices. I would like to keep the city view. I only have 1 vendor, so I'm just gonna keep it there. And I'm gonna say from November 5th till November 10, 2020. I'm gonna say for breakfast as well. And in here quickly, just a quick note, because we have suites in this hotel, it's showing under suites. You can see here I got the executive and I got the junior double. right here. I'm going to choose one double, one additional, one no bed, and here I'm going to choose one of each. Just remember always when you put the number of quantity, you exit the line by clicking another thing. If you have anything extra that is not here, you can also add it here, and you can add the cost of it. It will calculate itself. You can save the stay. Now if I click on Mecca, it's showing me, as you can see, everything here. Look at this, guys. Under accommodation, it's saying that 3 weekdays, 2 weekends, one double room, and one no bed, and one additional bed, including VAT and municipal. So basically, when you identify the taxes under the hotel, it will always show you here that it has the taxes, what kind of taxes it has, whether it's VAT only or VAT and municipal, or. And because the food is included, under food there is nothing, because we identify that the breakfast is included in Movenpick Haja Tower. So that's why there is no price for it, and that's why it's showing you zero under here. If I go quickly to, I finished right now. I got here Medina, I got Mecca, and I have all my services connected. The only thing left is to look at accounting. Here's our beautiful screen of accounting. It's broken down by groups. So here, the first group is Medina. It's showing you the accommodation first. And here's the full description and the price. And it's showing you the food in Medina. Here's the description and the price. And then it's showing you the services in Medina, which is the transportation that you identified in Medina. Here's the description and the price. Same thing goes for Mecca. Same thing goes for the general services, right here, showing the Umrah visa. As you can see, all the prices are in local currencies, and it's been already converted or exchanged from Saudi Riyal to local currency. And it's showing you here that the total cost is this much, and the total tax which is included in this cost, so you don't have to charge again. We're just showing it to you just in case the client asks you, hey, why is it too much? Like I got a cheaper price from another person, and then I got a cheaper price from one person, and then I got a cheaper price from another person, and then you can tell them that they include taxes or not, and you can say that, hey, this price actually includes 162 taxes. So now let's say the amount here is 11,754 and 57. Let's say you wanna charge them 11,760, just to make it an even number. No problem. You see this box right here? It's called override. You can come here and go like this, 11,760. Now the system is going to change it. All you have to do is save, and now the system is going to take this perfect. Now the system is going to take this number 11,760, and that is what's gonna appear on the invoice. So let's say that this client is also interested in a flight, okay, and you sent the file already to your ticketing agent. Basically, they can come here, click on flight, they can add the segments here, new segment, and they can add it. I'm just gonna give you an example. I'm gonna say Egypt Air, so MS, and I'm going to say Cairo Medina, flight number 123, just an example, November 3rd 2020, 12:45, November 3rd 2020, 1:45 p.m. save segment. Here we go, So you can start adding all the segments you want, as many segments as you want. What we care about in Umrah, what we recommend you do in Umrah, is always include the in segment and the out segment. The rest aren't really important. You're not really, so when you're creating a quotation for Umrah, what they care about in Saudi is the flight that the clients are coming in and the flights that the clients are leaving, right? So we always advise that you add this in the flight route, but I mean, you can add the whole ticket, it's really up to you. Now, under accounting, flight accounting, I want to identify that this ticket costed the agency, costed me 500, and I want to sell it for 550. And here again, it's asking you cost items, so it's international airfare, for example. It's picking up the cost item under the flights. So if you want to change it, you go in the settings under master data, in cost items, choose flights, and you can put any cost items you want there. Here I'm going to choose the vendor, flight vendor, and I'm going to say save. It's successfully saved. Now if I go to accounting, you are going to see that right here it added a flight and it says 550. Now I want you to notice something here. The number, I want you to notice something with me here, that the override amount we chose before was 11,710. So I want you to notice something here. The override that we put before was 11,760. Now if you look at it, it's showing 12,310, which means the system picked up already the extra flight price that you identified and put that for you on the override automatically. I want you to notice something here. If you change anything here in the quotation, the override is not going to change. So you have to manually add it to the override, because we don't know how much exactly you want to add. All of these services and hotel prices are done in Saudi riyals and you convert them. So we don't know how much you want to add. Unlike the flight actually have a set price. It's asking you here, what is the selling price? That's why in the accounting, the override is picking it up automatically. Okay, so just remember this. If you change anything in your quotation, you have to review your override. If you're happy with it, great. If not, then you can actually assign a new number to it, no problem. But if you add flight, absolutely no issue. It automatically picks it up. You don't have to even review it. Now, the last thing I want to show you before we actually send some emails is the call log. What is the call log? Call log is actually as it's named. If a client calls me today and I walk them through this quotation and he's happy about it, but he wants to think about it today and get back to me early morning, I should be able to basically add that in the call log. So I can say new call and I can say the caller is Mr. Ahmed Abbas, and I can say here client is very happy about the quotation and wanted to consult with his wife and get back to us in the morning. I can say save call. As you can see, it's saved already here. Now let's say the client called the next day and the same person who was helping them, in this case it was admin. Obviously if you're signing it is as Ahmed, it will show here your name. Whoever the employee is signing in Sure Hash, it will show their name automatically, okay? But I am signed it as admin, so that's why it's showing admin. So let's say the client calls back tomorrow and this person is not available. The person who picks up the phone can basically ask them about their quotation number and can come here and say, I want to see quotation number 104, apply filter. Right away, it's going to show them the quotation. They can go to call log, press on that, and see exactly what they talked about with their employee, last time they spoke. So it's a very great feature that you could use under quotation. Now that we finished this quotation, we want to send the client this quotation by email. What do? We just press email. We choose from our templates. We reviewed these templates under settings and we said how you set it up, and it's only one time and you don't have to do it again, and it's great because you're gonna use it everywhere in the system. So like this here, I'm going to choose a template called Umrah Quotation, and I would like to send it to the same, like the application, and I can just press send. Now before I press send, I will just quickly want to show you what other options you can do in this beautiful screen. So here you could also send this file to one of your employees, so one of your colleagues. So let's say I have here Nouri. Let's say that Nouri is actually the ticketing agent, and I want to send her this file so she can look at the ticketing agent and look at the file and help the client with tickets. I can select her, and here I just have to also say send it also to the employee, right? Like this. Let's say that this is a sub-agent. It comes from a sub-agent. I can actually choose that here. Let's say that I want to send the representatives. We will talk about it in a second, but not right now. If you want to send it to another person that's out of the organization, you can write their email here and you can select them from here. I'm going to take this off because I don't want to send it to anybody. So we'll talk about the representatives and the vendors in a second. Right now, you can also attach certain things, but at this point, when you're creating the quotation, there is nothing really to attach. You're just sending them a quotation. So I'm going to go ahead and send this email. See, the email is sent successfully. What happened here is the system looked at the email that was identified under settings and sent the email from that email. Okay, so let's look at this email together. Look at this. I got Nouri Travel, I got Umrah Tours, and Nouri Travel Umrah Quotation. If I click on it, look at this beautiful email. I have all the information about the travel agency, the logo. I got dear, and then the client email. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Reservation number 104. Thank you for choosing blah 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 blah. All of these, of course, are predefined templates. You can change all of these talking. Okay, you can change all of these text to whatever you like. It says here quotation number is this to this person, and it's valid until 7th November. Passengers 2 adult 2 children. Quotation total is 11,760. setting Umrah Quotation وهنا موجودة اهي under list I got هي اوكي معلش نبعت تاني بس بالمرة عايز اعمل حاجة هنا Here we go. Now let's look at this email together. Here we go. Look, I got an email here that says Nouri Travel, and it says Umrah Tours and Nouri Travel Umrah Quotation. Click on that. Look at this beautiful template that was already identified in Shurhash. It's showing here the company information, the logo, Dear client name, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, quotation number 104. Thank you for choosing Nuri Travel, blah blah blah. You can change all of this, of course, under the email templates. Here it's showing quotation number to the client, valid until 7th of November. Passengers to adult 2 children. Quotation total, the same amount that we saw under override, 12,310. And then it's giving you a quick information of what's included in your quotation. So right here it's showing Medina, Movenpick Anwar in Medina, 5-star hotel, check-in November 3rd to November 5th, 1 double room, 4 breakfasts per night. And Mecca, it's showing the same thing here. Here it's giving you a glimpse of what's included in the quotation. So it's showing you here in the city Medina, Hotel Movenpick, 5-star, check-in November 3rd, check-out November 5th, room, 1 double room, 1 additional bed, 1 no bed. And it's showing you here 4 breakfasts per night. And it's giving you a link. If you click on it, it will gives them the website of the hotel so they can check pictures and stuff like that. Same thing with Mecca, same thing with the transportation. Count 1, Jeddah to Mecca limo, Mecca to Jeddah limo, Medina to Mecca limo, and then other services. We chose sightseeing and we choose Umrah visa. And then here's the basic terms and condition included in the template we identified. And at the end it says here, we look forward to hearing from you, Jazakumullah khair, and the signature, and that's it. That's it. So as you can see, this all happened and it took less than a minute to create a quotation and send it to the client. Now the client has a written quotation. They can review it, and then once they accept it, they call you to confirm. So now let's say the client called back and said, yes, I would like to confirm. Basically that makes the quotation an application. So think of the application as it's equal to confirmed reservation. So I'm gonna come here again under quotation. I'm gonna select my quotation and click on convert to application. Here we go. It's giving me a confirmation. I'm saying yes. It's telling me, okay, give me the names. So here you don't have to put the names exactly like the passport. If you have them, that's great. But if you don't, you can put them for now so it can confirm your application. And then later on, when the client sends you a copy of the passports, you can actually scan them properly as we talked about before. So in here, I'm just gonna write last name. The first person, last name Adil, first name Ahmed. He's a male, I just have to put M, and he's an adult, I have to put A. And then I move to the next one. I'm gonna say Adil, and I'm gonna say here Ali, male, and A. And then I'm gonna say here Adil, and then Muhammad, and I'm gonna say male, and I'm gonna say child, because I chose 2 children, so I have to put 2 children here. I'm gonna say Adil, I'm gonna say Huda, I'm gonna say female, and I'm gonna choose here child. Now if I finished, I can click on create application. I'll get this beautiful confirmation, and as you can see from the quotation screen, the quotation disappeared. Now it's not in the quotation anymore. Why we do this? We do this because you could give 1,000 quotation, okay, and out of the 1,000 quotation, only, I hope of course that all 1,000 confirm, but let's say out of 1,000 quotation, only 500 they confirmed. Imagine looking for 500 within 1,000 files. So the best way to do this is to divide them in 2 screens. So again, under customized packages, the second choice is applications. If I click on it, it will open to me. Here we go. See, I have here Ahmed test, the one that I just confirmed, with so much more options, to do, which we will go through quickly right now. So in order to show you more information, the company that I was using for the purpose of testing didn't have any information. It's a brand new company. So I switched company. This way you can see, for example, the file here, Ahmed Test, the one that we created together, has a different application ID. Just because this database has more information, so I can actually show you more feature of SureHajj. Definitely when you start working on SureHajj, after 1 year you're gonna have tons of data that you could use if you're showing someone the system. Now, as you can see here, that's where all the magic happened. This screen is where all the magic happened. As you can see here on the left, we got a list of our confirmed reservation of our applications. Right away, by looking at this file, Ahmed Test, I can see that there's something wrong here. I know we discussed this already in the video of settings, but I'll show it to you quickly. This means that this particular application has validations that are not met. If you want to know what these validations are, you click the validation button. It shows you here what's wrong with the file. So here it shows, for example, that some passengers have incomplete documents. Who are these passengers? 1, 2, 3, 4. And some accommodation stay not confirmed, and some transportation not confirmed. So once actually we finish working on this file, all of these validation will be met, and then I'll show you how they are going to disappear, and we're gonna have a nice check mark saying that this file is complete. Okay, I just wanted to show you this quickly. So as we agreed, always remember, applications means what? Applications means what? Confirmed reservation. That's why we have it here. So the first thing I would like to do when I am working with a new file is to create the service contract. So the nice thing about SureHajj, and we discussed that in the settings as well, how to design your service contract so that you can use it automatically. I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna click on contract, and I'm gonna say create and save. It's gonna take a second, and it's gonna create the contract customized to this particular application, and it will save it in the documents, and we're gonna see that together. Here we go, contract successfully created. If I click on review documents, I'll find it here. If I click view file, just to see how it looks like. Here we go. Information about the company, information about the application, and information about what this person picked, what this person booked, the price, contract detail data, the passengers that we have put, and then the terms and conditions. It's very good option because you can actually send this by email. If you go to the email which we already saw together, you can attach the contract, and we're gonna see that in a second. So let's go quickly and explore all of these options. This will take a little bit of time. Because we want to explain all the options, yet you don't have to use all of them every single time. Okay, so the first screen is actually, as you can see here, this is the same screen as the quotation, except for this part, and this part is the operation of this Umrah. We'll talk about it in a second. The second screen is the passenger screen. These are the names as we entered them when we were confirming the accommodation. So when we were confirming the quotation, we entered these names quickly. Now let's say we want to actually enter all the details. You got 3 ways to do that in SureHajj. The first way is the manual. You can actually you can press that person, and here you can write the passport number, for example AC 123456, and then you can put the issue date November 11 2019, and you say the authority, for example, Mississauga. Expiry date will be November 11, 2029. Nationality, Canadian. Original nationality, Pakistani. Birth date, and so on. So you can basically fill the information here, and once you're done, you can go ahead and save the passenger. Passenger will be saved. You will still be missing the picture, and we'll show you how to put that in a second. So now if I click on it again, I have this information. Okay, so that's the first way, manual input. So the second one, I want to select this one. Say that this person already went with us to Umrah or to Hajj, and we already have his or her information. And instead of putting the information again, I can search. So I can go here, find passenger, I can click on it, and I can write the last name. I'm just gonna write any last name just for testing. I'm gonna say find. Look at this, all of these people, they went with us either to Umrah or to Hajj in the previous seasons. Of course, if you're using Sure Hajj for the first time, you won't have anybody because this is your first season. But for next year, for example, you will have information. Or if you are in Hajj, you will have the information of Umrah. So I'm gonna choose this person for test, just for the sake of testing. I'm gonna say select, and look at this, because we already have the picture, we already had the latest passport, everything came already. I don't have to re-enter anything. All I have to do is just save, and this passenger is now saved. The third option is to actually scan. So this is a child, as you can see here, it says child, and it's a male. So child needs a mahram, right? So if you scroll down here, you're gonna see mahram name. I click this button, and the application tells me that these are the options that you can use. So I'm gonna check, I'm gonna say this person, and I'm gonna say the relationship is father. Okay, so that's great. But what about the rest of the information? I can actually scan it. So if you have one of those 3M scanner, you can click this button, and given that your scanner is already connected and the application of 3M is on, all you have to do is just click capture scan, and it will scan that person. Of course, this is just a testing data, that's not accurate, but I'm just showing you how easy it is to scan. And all we have to do is complete this small amount of data. So I can click here if I want to see something. So here, for example, it says issue date. I can click here and say, okay, it's 10 years. So I can click 10 years. It fills it automatically for me. Original nationality, Egypt. Okay, so I go here and I press EGY and I select Egypt. And then birthplace, it says here Alexandria, Egypt. So I can actually write it here, Alexandria, EGY. And then issuing authority, it says Edmonton. So I'm gonna write it here, Edmonton. And if you know the job, great. If you don't know the job, then you can write. Now that I'm done, I'm gonna press OK. Look at this, all the information is here and saved. Of course, this is an adult, so I'm not gonna save that as an adult. I'm gonna change the birth date to March 13, 2018. So this way I can save them as a child. So if I save, that's how easy it is to enter data in Sure Hajj. So you got three ways: either manual, or you can do a find passenger, or you can scan passport. Of course, we also have the capability to scan residence card. So if you have a resident card and you need to scan that as well, use the 3M. You can capture the front side and then you can capture the back side, and be sure to view these three fields to be sure it's imported correctly. Same thing like you do in the passport. Always be sure you review the fields to be sure that the passport's number are correct, and the scanner sometimes mess up certain letters. So you want to be sure that the scanner captured properly. Another option that you can do here is you can actually add passengers. So if you want to add passenger, you can just press new passenger and you can add the information here through, and you can add the information here. Once you're done, you can press save and it's done. Or you can delete passengers. So all of these options are right here. The last option we're gonna see in this screen is documents. So remember in the settings when we talked about the documents, we said that you create a list of required documents to that you usually ask your clients to bring. Here is where you confirm that you received these documents. So I'm gonna select the passenger, this first person, giving that they give me everything. And I'm gonna this is the list that we have for this company. I'm gonna say that this person does not need waived. I don't need conversion to Islam, they're already Muslim. I don't need a proof of mahram because he's adult, and I don't need FedEx prepaid bill because they already gave us by hand, let's say. The airline tickets I waive it because we are the one who's issuing the airline tickets. PCR for COVID-19, I'm gonna say they provided us with the original. And the two passports, they provided us with the original. The passport, they gave us a copy. And PR, they don't need a PR, they already have. The immunization, they give us a copy. The polio, they don't need it. See, I am done. I can save that, it's done. Every time I click on this person, it will show me that if I want to look at the documents, it will show me that I finished. If they give the original passport, for example, and you return it to them, you can always choose original and return. So this is a confirmation that you have returned the original document to the client. And again, it goes client by client. So if I select this person, Hoda Adil, and I click documents, I have to fill the same thing again. So that's a beautiful option. When the clients get their portal, online portal link, and they click on the link, they will be able to see the status of their file along with the documents required. So if they didn't provide you with anything, it will be wise to come here and at least waive what you don't need from them, so they can know exactly what you just need from them. That's it with respect to the passenger. Very beautiful screen. If you really fill all the information here, you're gonna create an amazing database with passport copies, with pictures of your clients, with information about your clients that you can always call from the database like I did here. Look, if I write any name, I'm gonna write here Ali, for example. I may have a person named Ali. Look at this. I have all these information. If any of these clients come back, they feel the loyalty. They feel that we kept their data. It's very nice, and that they are important to us. So we really recommend that you take advantage of this screen. This person. Now, before I move from this screen, as you remember, Ahmad Adil was one of the validation that they're missing documents. But now that I filled all the documents, if I click on validation, I should not see his name among those who are missing documents. Let's check this together. If I click on validation, he's gone. See? So only it's showing me incomplete documents to the rest of the family, but for him it's done because he already brought everything and I don't need anything back, anything again from him. So right now he's complete. The minute I complete the documents for the other three, this validation will be completely wiped out. And once all these validations are done, and they will be done by end of this video, you're gonna see that this right here, this icon right here, and instead of showing you a warning, it will show you a check mark, which means the file is 100% complete. So simply, when you access this screen quickly by looking at the applications that is on the left side, you can determine which one is missing something and which one aren't missing something. These validation and the processing steps and the reminders, like we talked about in the other video settings, are very important and recommended, but they are not mandatory. So if you don't want to use them, that's fine. Don't enable them under settings, and just, you won't take advantage. But we really highly recommend you take advantage of these beautiful options. Now let's quickly look at the accounting. The accounting screen is very important and full of options. So here are, as we talked about before, these are the groups: Medina, Mecca, General Services, Flights, and then Summary, showing us how much is the taxes if you have selected taxes. As you can see here, we have the groups: Medina, Mecca, General Services, Flights, like we explained under quotation. It's exactly the same things. The only difference that we have is these four amazing buttons: adjust cost, make refund, make payment, define installments. First, adjust cost. I'm gonna click on that. You use adjust cost if you want to adjust the cost of the application. By what? By either giving a discount or a general adjustment. So for example, right here it's showing me that the net price is $5,188.47. Maybe I want to adjust it to 5,200. And here it's giving you an option. Do you want to update the override or no? Yes, I do. I can write here the description. So the first button, adjust cost. You use this button if you want to add a fee, which is general adjustment, or you want to do a discount. So let's say this package is costing $5,188.47, and we want to adjust that by $100. So we want to adjust this by $100. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to put $100, and it's asking me, do you want the system to update the override? Of course I do. The override amount is the most important amount in the whole quotation. Under here I can say general adjustments by Ahmed, and I can say details. I can write any details I want. So the description is for the client to see, and the details is for us. So in the description I can write general adjustment by Ahmed, or I can write processing fee, for example. Here we go, processing fee. And then in details I can write added by Ahmed for extra profit. Of course, your profit and overhead is automatically added to the whole quotation, so you don't have to worry about that. So this is just an extra amount that you're adding on the client. As you can see, look here, it became $5,288.47. Now I can come here again. I can say I want to do a discount. So I'm gonna discount 188.47 to make the amount completely 5,000. Now if I come to adjust the cost again, maybe I want to do a discount, so I select a discount, and here I'm going to discount $288.47 to have a $5,000 even. And I can say here description again for the client, so I can say discount by manager, and details here discounted by Ahmed. I can say okay. You see here the override became $5,000, and that's the due for the client. And if we come down here under adjustment, a new category is created called adjustment. Here's the $100 that we added, and here are the details. And here are the details, and here is the discount, and here is the details. And as you can see, you have the option to delete these adjustments that you just added. Now that we finished this part, I would like to save. So now this way every time I open this application, I can find all my adjustments saved. Now let's do a payment. Let's say the client now is making a full payment. So and he already sent us this by email transfer or by cash. I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna say make payment. I'm gonna check the date and then add here. Let's say for the sake of the testing that the client actually overpaid by $1,000. So he actually paid us $6,000. And here description payment 1, payment type by cash, and details cash was handed to Ahmed, for example. And I'm gonna say okay. Payment saved. And as you can see here, a new line is showing $6,000 as a payment, and right here beside the delete icon I have an email receipt icon. If I click on it quickly, right away email is sent with a receipt to the client. It is that simple. Let's look at the email that the client got. Let's look at the payment email together. Here we go. Here's the information of the company, logo, customized to that client. It's showing here November 6th, amount $6,000, description payment 1 cash, jazakumullah khair, and we have received your payment. So very quickly you can send them an email. Of course you can type anything you want. Again, this is a template that comes with SureHash, but you can customize it to from under settings, email settings. You can customize it to anything you want. You can add to it. You can change the whole you can add to it whatever you like the clients to receive, maybe your terms and conditions. Okay, so if we look here now in the accounting, so the whole invoice is for $5,000, but the client paid $6,000 and we have $1,000 extra. Maybe we want to refund that to the client. So we come here and we click on make refund and we say $1,000, description here, refund to client. Always guys, remember, description is for the clients to see, details is for you to see. And here maybe we give it by check, and we can say here client overpaid us by $1,000, refund approved by Ahmed, check number 1234, and we write okay. Now we are going to see another thing here, another line here added. It's saying refund by check. Again, there's an email button so we can
ممكن نصلح
ممكن
نصلح
دلوقتي. Okay, yeah, for sure. As you can see here, here's the refund. We have another line now that was created saying $1,000, and it's showing it was negative, showing refund, and we have the email. By clicking on it, the email will be sent, and the client will get the refund receipt. Here we go. See, email sent successfully. The last option now that we have in this accounting screen is called define installments. Sometimes you get a case where the quotation is very expensive. Let's say, for example, $30,000, and the client doesn't want to pay for it upfront. They want to make installments. The best way to do that, SureHash allows you actually to do that through this screen. You click on define installments and basically go new. You press new and you fill the information. You put the due date, you put the amount and the description, and press save. And you start building your installments. Once this is done, every time you are making a payment, you're receiving a payment, basically, the system will take care of adjusting the second installment and the third installments. Also, by building this, you are able to send reminders. You remember we talked about it in the settings. You are able to send reminders a couple of days before the installment day and a couple of days after the installment days to the client, so they don't forget paying their money. So if you have clients that pay installments, it's great to take a second to actually identify the installments here and send them an email. You can actually include that in the email, guys. So you can send them an email with the installments details, like installments schedule. so they know exactly when to pay you and everything is organized. That's the core reason why we use Sure Hajj to organize everything for us. And that's it with respect to the accounting tab. The validation tab, we already looked at it, of course, and we'll come back to that later on. The processing, we already looked at it. The call log, we already looked at it. Flights, we already looked at it. The invoice, so now let us look at the invoice. Since this is an application, so it's showing here the stuff that the client booked, and it's showing here the total price and the account statement of the client. You're able to save this as a PDF. You're able to print it. So let's say the client is at your office, you can actually print it to them, or you can save it to PDF, and you can definitely email them. We already seen the emails, but what you didn't see is, for example, here I can say I want to send a welcome Umrah email, and I want to say attach the contract. Remember the agreement contract that it is saved under documents? We can actually attach it, and I'm gonna say send. Here we go. Let's look at the email together. Let's look at the email together. Here's the welcome email. Here's the information that's written in the welcome email, and here is the service contract. Look at this. I can actually view it here, I think. Bullshit. It's a waste of time. I can actually download it here. See, I can download, and if I open it here, here we go. This is a service contract. The client can actually initial each page, sign at the end, and then here we go, sign at the end, and then send it back to us. And once we have it, we can actually save it under his file inside Sure Hajj by coming back here and creating a document and selecting whatever files we want, basically the file that is already signed, and save it. So when we review the documents, we'll find it right here. Back to the email. Look at this. It says here, Assalamu alaikum, congratulations, your application is now confirmed. Your application number is this. Your online portal is this. And I want to show you the online portal, but after I finish with the application. It's really good tool for your clients to keep track of everything. This is what they booked, showing them the transportation alone, the accommodation alone, and any other services. Here in our cases is the Umrah visa, and it's showing them the financial information and how they can make a payment and what to do next. This is all written inside the template, so you are more than welcome to build the template the way you like it. Back to the application. The reminders, of course, we looked at it when we did the settings, create document and review documents. We spoke about that as well. Passenger photos. So in most of the cases, actually, when you're creating your when you're creating the quotation and then confirming it, you don't really have a good picture, a good like passport size photo. Usually the client would bring that to you later on, or send it to you by email. If they send it to you by email, or if they give it to you and you scan it and you saved it on your computer, what you always can do is come here, select the file, go to passenger photos, and let's say you have the photo of this person, Ahmed Adil. You can click on it and say, okay, photo file is here, and select the photo from your desktop. I'm just going to select any picture. Here we go. Here we go. You got a picture here. All you have to do is attach photo and you're done. I'm gonna attach the photo, close. You can do this for all of them, of course. You can come here and select. So here you got the photo, here you got the passport, here you got the PR. So you can actually have these files on your computer and come and attach them manually like that. If I go now to passengers, if I click to Ahmed Adil, I should find his picture right here. See? Very easy. And by the way, there is also an easy way to do that. I'll show you that in right here. If you open the picture using Paint, for example, So let's say you actually have a scanner, and you scan the picture the client brought you. So I'm just gonna, when you scan it, you can open it on Paint. So I'm gonna open that on Paint. I'm gonna go here and open this picture, for example. All you have to do is Control A to select all, or you can press select and take whatever size. You take whatever size you like, and once here, say copy, and then go back to Shorhash and click on paste from clipboard. Look at this, it's done. Oh, I just have to save, and now if I enter Ahmed Adel, the new picture is saved. It's very simple. The application Shorhash is very flexible, very simple, and it's meant to help you do your work very quick, very efficient, very accurate, with tons of reports. And we'll show you that inshallah when we talk about reports. Now that we basically finished, we got the visas, we got the documents, we got the payments, everything is done, and it is time now to send the confirmation for hotels and transportation to Saudi Arabia. The old way, or maybe the current way, is to use Excel or PDF, or write an email or WhatsApp messages customized to each client. Imagine if you have 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 or 50,000 or 200,000 clients that you have to write individual emails or individual messages. How much time are you wasting, right? The easiest way to do this, actually Shorhash does it automatically for you. All you have to do is first define the transportation. If you are selling transportation to the client, define the transportation schedule like you normally do. And this can be done by click on the application you want, go here, says transportation, click on it, a nice schedule open here, and it's showing you all the hotels here. So you can actually start building your schedule. So let's build this together. So I want them on 3rd of November, that's when they are arriving. So November 3rd, 2020. These are just, These are just shortcuts. So I can actually say arrival date, or I can type here 3rd November 2020. It's really up to you. I can also check the shortcut from Medina Airport. Here we go. To Medina Hotel, Anwar and Medina Movenpick. Right here, that's their first stop. Pickup time, I can say upon arrival. Okay. Transportation, I can choose limo and say save. Here we go, that's one line done. I also want to give them sightseeing in Medina. So I can say November 4th, 2020, from Anwar and Medina Movenpick to, here there is no sightseeing, so I can actually type that, Mazarat, or you can type sightseeing, whatever you are okay with, and your service provider in Saudi is okay with. Pickup time, so I can say here, pickup time at 10 a.m. and I can say also limo, save itinerary. Then on 5th of November, as you can see here, they are checking in Mecca. So I can write here November 5th. And from Movenpick Anwar and Medina to Hagar Tower in Mecca, and pickup time will be, let's say, 12 noon. Limo, save. I want to give them Mazarat in Mecca as well, so I'm going to do that on November 6th. From Hagar Tower, Mazarat, pickup time 10 a.m. Limo, save. And finally, we're going to take them from Movenpick Hagar Tower to the airport in Jeddah. So they are traveling on November 10th. So that's I can do that, November 10th. From Movenpick Hagar Tower to Jeddah Airport. See, it's all done for you automatically. And here I don't know what time, so I can actually check this by going to flight. I know their flight is at 15:45 p.m. so I want them to go maybe 11 o'clock. So I can go back here, I say transportation, and I can say 11 o'clock and limo, save itinerary. Great, I built my transportation. Look at this, I have here from Medina Airport to Anwar Medina Movenpick, from Anwar Medina Movenpick Mazarat in Medina, from Anwar Medina Movenpick to Movenpick Hagar Tower, from Hagar Tower to Mazarat, and from Hagar Tower to Jeddah Airport. All my dates are correct, all my timing is good, and the type is properly done. Of course, you can use train, you can use whatever you want, gems, bus, whatever you want. It's really up to you. Okay, once you're done here, you can close this. And now here's the magical part. All I have to do now is, you see these two, I told you we're gonna talk about them. I'm gonna click the first one. It's gonna ask me which confirmation email do you wanna send first. I will say, okay, send. So first, I wanna send the accommodation request. I have to click here. It's asking me which email I would like to send first. I'm gonna click this one, Hagar Tower, send email. Done. And then Movenpick Anwar Medina, send email. Done. My accommodation emails are done, and I will show you now in a second how this email will look like to your vendors. But I want to mention here something. Look at this. Here it's telling me which vendor it is. So Anwar Medina Movenpick had Fast Aviation. That's good. And Movenpick Hagar Tower had Movenpick Hagar Tower, which means I'm taking from the email from the hotel directly. Without identifying emails to these two hotels and these two vendors, basically, I will not take advantage. I won't be able to take advantage. You're gonna come here and it's not gonna send the email because there's no email to send it to. That's why I said when you put a vendor, be sure to put an email. When you put a hotel, be sure to put an email. If you take the hotel directly, if you take the prices directly from the hotel. But if you use only vendors, so maybe Fast Aviation, Dar al Iman, Afwaj, any Saudi company that you use at the third party and they become your vendor, no problem. Use the same email that you use to send them manually, and the emails can be sent automatically like this. Now I finished accommodation, I want to send the transportation. I just do one click on transportation and I'm done. How easy it is. How easy it is. Now let us look at the emails the vendors are going to receive. So I'm going to come here. Look at this. I got 2 accommodation requests and I have transportation request. For the sake of this test, of course, I put the same email for everything. Just so I can show you what your vendors will see. So I'll go for the first accommodation request. Here they get a nice email with your company logo so they know it's coming from you. And it's saying here accommodation request, the name of the person, the client name, customer ID, number of passengers, and it's showing here Mecca, Movenpick Hagar Tower, check-in date, check-out date, room view or category, 1 double room, 4 breakfast per night, and 6 nights. So as you can see here, here's the hotel name, check-in date, check-out date, room view or category, room type, 1 double room, meals, and number of nights. And at the end it says looking forward to receiving your tentative confirmation. Thank you very much. Again, you can add whatever you want in the email to start with, dear Assalamu alaikum, blah blah blah, or to end with, you can write whatever you want in the email templates. But this is what your vendor in Mecca would receive. Same thing for the vendor in Medina. Same thing in the vendor in Medina for the accommodation. Now let's look at the transportation. Here's a transportation request. And here's a transportation request email. As you can see, it says transportation request. Again, client name, customer ID, and number of passengers. Here's the accommodation details. They need to know the accommodation details, so it's showing here. If you have a confirmation, it will show here, but we don't have confirmation yet. And here's the flight details, the in and out. Remember when I was telling you we really recommend you put the in and out flights, so it can show in the transportation request. And here is the transportation request, exactly the same way we filled it, and looking forward to receiving your confirmation. So it's very good. The system does that automatically for you. You don't have to do it manually every time, and it's just one click, you're done. Once you receive this confirmation, then we'll go back to our application. Say that we received already the accommodation confirmation and the transportation as well. All I have to do is come to this button here, it says confirmation. I click on it. First I'm gonna do the accommodation, so I select Movenpick Anwar Medina, and I can say here confirmation number 123, and I can write notes such as Muhammad Yunus number 095236, call upon arrival. Anything, you can write anything you want. Phone numbers of your own representatives in Saudi, something that you can write anything that you want the clients to have on their vouchers. Say save, confirmation saved. Now go to Mecca, same thing, so I'm gonna write ABC, and then anything here. You can leave it empty if you don't want to. Confirmation saved. Now the transportation, I'm gonna put the transportation BA. I'm gonna say please be sure to call this number 1 day in advance to confirm your transportation schedule. Anything. Now we are done the confirmation. We can actually create the voucher. We have all the confirmation, everything is confirmed, so we can create the vouchers. One click, I can come here and say create and print vouchers. Look at this, done automatically, very quickly. Here we go. Here's my trip. Here's the client's trip voucher. Let's review that together. Saying here the name of the person, client ID number, 2 adult, 2 children, status confirmed. Airline departure information, here's the in and out. Here's the transportation schedule, and here's the confirmation number, and here's the transportation note, and here's the vendor name that is confirmed by vendor name. Okay. Here is the information of your representatives in Saudi, which were set in the settings. So in the settings, we already put this. Remember, we did Mecca, Jeddah, Medina, and that's the information that was there. If you don't wanna fill it there, no problem. This will be empty. Now I'm gonna go to page 2. Page 2 shows here the Yes, page 2 shows here the accommodation information. So here is Movenpick Anwar Medina. Here's the all the information and the confirmation number and the notes that we wrote. Here is Movenpick Hagar Tower, information, confirmation, and the notes. Perfect. And page 3 will show any other services, and will show the way to Hajj, which is the company I am using right now. And voucher issuer, who issued the voucher, it shows the name of that person. I'm signed in as admin, so it's showing as admin. And then company Saudi contacts, again it's saying the Saudi contacts here, so the client can never miss it. What I can do is I can print it for the client if he is present, or I can save it as PDF, which I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna say here vouchers, and I'll save that. If I go to review documents, look at this. The system already saved it for me. So what I can also do quickly is I can email the client the voucher. So here what I can do is also email them the voucher. So I can come here and I can say trip itinerary and vouchers, and then I can attach here, attach Umrah voucher. You see this? Attach Umrah voucher. And I can say send. Boom. Done. Let's look at this email together. Look, trip itinerary and voucher. And here it's already attached. The PDF is attached. They can preview it if they want, or save it, or do whatever they want. Preview this. Here we go. They can download it. Here we go. Very nicely done and designed. They don't need to do anything. So as you can see, all of this done for the client automatically. It's done for you automatically. You don't have to redo everything from scratch. You don't have to create everything manual for every single client you have. Finally, let's quickly look at the portal, what the client will see on their portal. So that link is the portal, which is included in the welcome email. If the client clicks on it, automatically it signs in the client in the portal. The portal has the banner, your banner. So each company has a different banner, of course. So the client know that this is under your company. Here's their contact information, and here's the emergency contact, which they can actually input, and then they can save it. It will be automatically saved in your application. And here is the stays: Medina, Movenpick, blah blah blah. Here's all the information: check in, check out. Alright, so here's the stays. So basically Medina, Movenpick, City View, one double, and all the information, including the transportation that will be offered in Medina. Same thing in Mecca. I want you to notice something here. I want you to notice something here, that in this hotel we have a picture. It's not a good picture. In this hotel we don't have a picture. Why is this happening? Very simple. When you're adding hotels, right here, so in your hotels you have to put the pictures. So just to show you here, when you're adding hotels, if you put the pictures, so let's do that together. Movenpick Anwar in Medina. I'm gonna say hotel picture, and I am going to check for Movenpick Anwar in Medina pictures. I have them here. Here we go. Looks very nice, and I'm gonna save that. And then Movenpick Hagar Tower. I'm gonna add a picture. Let's do Movenpick Hagar Tower, hotel picture. Once this is done, I have to click this button, upload hotel pictures. What basically this will do is it will go through all your hotels. Any hotel that has pictures, it will upload them online. So when your clients are signed in their portal, they can actually see a nice picture of the hotel. That's why it is really important when you're identifying your hotel to put a picture, just one picture per hotel, and you can get this from Google. If I go back now to the portal, now when I refreshed, look at this, the picture is there. And now I don't have to do this upload picture again. Down here, it's a list of my passengers. It's showing you all the list here, and the required documents. So let me check the required documents for this person. If I click on it, it's showing here a list of the documents that we set under the settings, and in front it's saying the status. So here, original document provided, copy provided, this is waived, copy provided, waived, 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 waived. So it looks like this person document is really good. If I go back if I go back now, let's check another person and see it says not provided. So now if the client asks you, what do I need to get for documents, tell them, well, in your welcome email there's a portal link. Click on the portal link, and under the passenger list, check the required documents. It will tell you what you need to get. It's just easier this way, and they can email you all the copies. Here we go. See, it's showing not provided. He has to provide you with these documents. If I go back here, now here it will show pictures of the client if there's pictures for the client. Let's again look at the application. What do we have? If I go here under passengers, I have picture for this person. I don't have a picture for this person. I have a picture for this person. I have a picture for this person. So let's put just a picture here. I'm gonna go to passengers photo and just attach any picture for sake of testing. Where's my images? Maybe I'll put this person and I will say attach photo. Thank you very much. Once I finish with this, again I have to click upload pictures and files. So I'm gonna do that. Uploading process completed. Very good. If I go back here and refresh, I should find all the picture. Look at this. So they see a picture of themselves. It makes it personal. It makes the experience of the client in your page personal. Very good. Now, flight route. After that, it will show them the flight route you booked for them. Destination, flight number, destination, date, time, arrival, all of that. Transportation itinerary shows them the transportation. They don't need to keep calling you. It just shows them the information about their transportation. So now this is the transportation. It's showing them the schedule that you created for them, so they don't need to call you to ask you when is the taxi is gonna pick us up, all that. Now they can actually see it themselves. Under here, it's showing them also the important documents that you saved under their file. So we call it portfolio documents. Any important documents, they're called portfolio documents. So here, if I go review documents, if you click on any of them, you will see this link right here. This check box is called is portfolio. That means it's very important and you want them to see it. Okay, so they actually can open it from here. Look, they got the service application contract and they got the Umrah voucher. They can open it from here. Here we go. It's saved and they can open it and actually view it themselves. So even if you didn't send the email, you can ask them to keep checking this for important voucher. And of course, when you get the visa, you can save the visa in Sure Hajj and mark it as portfolio, and it will show here as well, and they can download it from here. Right here, there's a statement of account, so it's showing them what they paid and what they got as a refund. I can open a statement. If I click open the statement, it will show us basically a quick invoice. So look at this. It's showing what they booked and it's showing how much the package is, and then statement of account. It's showing that their total it's showing that their it's showing here their total. It's showing here the payments. It's showing the refund, and it's showing the balance is 0. They can actually save it to their computer as a PDF or Word or Excel, or they can even print it. I'm gonna go back now. Now the nice thing we talked about when we were discussing the settings is useful links. We set up our useful links for our client in this company. So we got how to perform Umrah step by step, Umrah tips and tricks. The client can actually click on that. It will take them to the link of how to perform Umrah, and they can watch. So if you have movies, if you have maps, if you have books in different languages, we highly recommend you upload them online, whether on your website or on YouTube or on your Google Drive, and get the link and add the useful links in the settings in Sure Hajj, because this will make it easy and accessible to your clients. They don't have to ask you, do you have books for Umrah? I need to read the books for Umrah. You don't need to spend time or money printing extra books anymore. Everything is electronic now, and they get all of this on their device. By the way, this portal, and of course all of this is easier and possible because we filled our settings properly. By the way, this portal is accessible from any device, so your client can actually, using their mobile or their iPad or their tablet, they can access the portal and enjoy all of these features. By the way, one final note, This portal is created automatically for each application. Okay, so each application, whether it's Umrah, whether it's Hajj, will have a separate portal that they can always check and enjoy all the features included in it. Now, the last step that you can do right away, or you can do when you receive the confirmation from the vendors regarding this application, is reconciliation. What is reconciliation? In a nutshell, reconciliation is telling the system that I quoted, for example, Movenpick Anwar Medina for this much money, but I actually got confirmation for the same item, Movenpick Anwar Medina, for this much money. I want you now to figure out my profit and loss, and I want you to figure out how much I owe the vendors. So let's do that together. Under customized package, so anything to do with customized Umrah can be done under customized packages. So if I click here and I scroll down to reconciliation with Saudi accountant, I click that. This beautiful screen opens up. Now you have a couple of options. If you want to show this application only, Ahmed test, the one we just did, you can write the ID here. Application ID is 20446, and I can say show. Here we go. These are the items included under this application that needs reconciliation. Okay, or you can choose from under the application name, or if you want to do multiple ones, you can actually just click show unreconciled apps, and it will show you everything that's unreconciled.
without this.
Eh?
من غير ال-
So if you want to do multiple one, you just have to basically I can remove these and just hit show unreconciled apps. It will go through all the confirmed applications and it will bring them here. We only have one that's confirmed, that's why we only have this one right here. If you look at it, it's actually so easy. It's telling you here Medina accommodation. The item is accommodation in Movenpick Anwar Medina from November 3rd to November 5th. So basically the selling price is $230. This is how much you charged the client. The actual cost is how much your vendor is charging you. So I can come here and I can say I took that, I paid that. So I can come here and say, okay, the vendor charged me $195. Okay, and here in the notes I can say 195. In the notes I can say vendor charged 1110 Saudi Riyal, exchange rate at the time of payment, of course, it was 2.6. So that's how I got the 195, for example, and it's showing you the vendor here. So you go ahead and do that for every single item. Now if you left it empty, you're basically telling the system, so if I leave this at 0, I'm telling the system that I quoted the client, I sold this item to the client for $2,076.92, and that's exactly how much I paid. Okay, so I'm actually going to change this number to 1180, and I'm gonna keep that 00. I'm gonna keep that 00 means here again that you quoted the number and you actually paid the exact same number, so you don't want to change anything. Here this is $1,000 for the flight fare. Okay, so after you finish all the items, you can click on the application name, say select. Now it's selected all of them, and you can note that the color of the font actually changed. The color of the text, it became blue instead of black. And I can say save reconciliation. The system will take a couple of seconds and it's done. It's actually saved as reconciled already. If I want to view a list of my reconciled list, I can press here and it's showing me here that, look at this, it's showing me here, these are the numbers I left 0. See, it copied exactly the same numbers. As you can see here, as you can see here, these are the items that I left as 0. It copied the exact amount, and everything else is correct, and this is reconciled. Now if I go back here, let's say I go back to applications, just to show you quickly that any reconciled application, you cannot change anything to it. Look at this, it says here application is reconciled, which means you cannot really do anything anymore. You can view it, you can print invoice, you can do anything, but you cannot really add any stays, you cannot reconfirm anything. That's it, the application has been reconciled. What the system did here for this reconciliation is, number one, the system took this cost, actual cost, and went to each vendor and put this cost as due. So now you owe these people this cost, okay? And the system took the difference between this and this, along with it, and the system took the difference between the actual cost and the selling price and added it to your profit margin. So at the end, when you do a report for profit and loss, it will show you the profit and, God forbid, the loss. Finally, here, say that you want to view a report of your reconciled application. Say that you have so many applications here. You can actually press on the report, and the report is really nice. It's actually broken down by application, so there is no confusion. And it has exactly the same thing. See, it says here basically the budget or calculated, and the actual, that's how much you actually paid. This is the difference, and here's all the information. And at the end, it's showing you here that on this you created $1,432.69, and this is the gross. This is the and these are the totals. And of course, at the end, you can print it, you can save it as PDF or Excel or Word and keep it for your files. Well, let's say that you have multiple applications, which I don't have here to show you, but you can do a group reconcile. So you now, let's say, well, we made a mistake with transportation. Okay, we actually made a mistake and we want to fix that. No problem, you can just remove reconciliation. So select the app, click remove reconciliation.
Select first.
I did.
Click select. لازم يزرع.
Yeah, select the app, click on select, then remove reconciliation. Boom, it's done. Now if I show unreconciled app, here we go, and everything is back to 0. Okay, so now I'm gonna put here one. Here is 1180, and now let's say that for the transportation, when you got the transportation cost, you didn't get each item alone. You actually, the vendor sent you just one invoice for maybe, let's say, $200, okay, for the full invoice. They send it to you in real and you exchange it when you pay them. So that's why it's in your local currency. Everything here is in your local currency. That's actually easy. What you're gonna do is you're gonna come here to the first item and you're gonna say group reconciliation. So you're gonna come to the first item and you press control down and hold it, and then select the second item, select the third item, fourth item, fifth item. So basically you select any item that is combined together. You understand? So if you have all your transportation, so basically select all the transportation, then come here and click group reconciliation. Here it is telling you, when you click group reconciliation, see, it says here the selected 5 rows, so we selected 5 things. It says here will be combined for 1. So I can come here and put the total cost that came from the vendor, say $200, and the group notes I can say vendor quoted say 600 reals with exchange rate 2.6, and I say accept, and the system will automatically divide them on these lines. Here I can write whatever 307, and here is 500. Now if you're done, again you just press the application, select the application, press select, and then save reconciliation. It's now reconciled. If I look at it again, it is done properly now, which is great. The reconciliation is done. You can do it again when you receive the confirmation from your vendors or when you actually pay Saudi. I recommend you do it when you pay Saudi, because when you pay, it depends on the day you actually send the payment to Saudi Arabia. You will know exactly the exchange rate, so you can use that to know very accurately how much you paid. You know the Saudi price from your vendors, but you don't know the exchange rate. Except maybe the USA, they have a flat exchange rate, so they can do it at any time when they receive the confirmation. That's it with respect to the reconciliation. Now the only thing left to complete the Umrah is advanced accounting, which will cover vendors, sub-agents, branch to branch, and much more detailed reports. That will be discussed in a separate video called Shur Hajj Accounting. It's a very important video that you must watch, and it will be on our YouTube channel. That's it, folks. Inshallah, we'll meet next time and discuss Umrah groups. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.